Once upon a time, in a small village in Kenya, there was a little boy named Kamau. Kamau lived with his grandmother, Wanjiku. His parents had gone to the city to find work and left Kamau in the care of his loving grandmother. Kamau was a cheerful boy who loved to play with his friends. He enjoyed running through the fields, climbing trees, and swimming in the river. But one thing always troubled Kamau: he was always hungry. No matter how much food his grandmother prepared, it never seemed enough for his big appetite. One sunny morning, Kamau woke up to the sound of birds chirping. He rubbed his eyes and looked outside the window. The sun was shining brightly, and it promised to be a beautiful day. "Kamau, come and have breakfast," called Wanjiku from the kitchen. Kamau quickly got out of bed and ran to the kitchen. On the table, there was a bowl of porridge and a piece of bread. Kamau's eyes lit up, and he sat down to eat. He finished his breakfast in no time and looked at his grandmother with hopeful eyes. "Grandma, I'm still hungry," Kamau said, his tummy rumbling. Wanjiku smiled kindly. "I know, my dear, but that's all we have for now. Later, we can go to the market and see if we can find more food." Kamau nodded, trying to hide his disappointment. He decided to go outside and play to keep his mind off his hunger. He met his friends Amina and Juma near the big baobab tree. "Let's play hide and seek," Juma suggested, and they all agreed. They played for hours, laughing and running around. But as the sun climbed higher, Kamau's stomach began to rumble louder. He tried to ignore it, but it was no use. "Kamau, are you okay?" Amina asked, noticing his troubled face. "I'm just a bit hungry," Kamau admitted. Amina thought for a moment. "Why don't we go to my house? My mother baked some bread this morning. Maybe she can share some with us." Kamau's eyes lit up with hope. That would be wonderful. The three friends ran to Amina's house, where her mother, Mama Amina, was busy in the kitchen. When she saw the children, she welcomed them with a warm smile. "Mama Amina, can Kamau have some bread?" "He's very hungry," Amina asked. Mama Amina looked at Kamau and nodded. "Of course, my dear. Come, Kamau, let's get you something to eat." She gave Kamau a big piece of bread and a cup of milk. Kamau thanked her and ate happily. His hunger was finally satisfied, at least for a little while. As they left Amina's house, Kamau felt much better. But he knew the hunger would come back. He wondered if there was a way to help his grandmother so they could have more food. "I need to find a way to help Grandma," Kamau said to his friends. "Maybe if I work hard, we can have more food." Amina and Juma looked at Kamau with admiration. "We will help you, Kamau," Juma said. "We can find ways to help your grandmother." The three friends made a plan to visit the village elders and ask for advice. They hoped the elders would have some good ideas on how Kamau could help his grandmother and stop being so hungry all the time. With determination in their hearts, the children set off towards the village center, where the wise elders sat under a big acacia tree, ready to share their wisdom with anyone who needed it. Kamau, Amina, and Juma walked through the village, greeting everyone they passed. The villagers were friendly, and many of them waved or smiled at the children. When they reached the big acacia tree, they found the elders sitting in a circle, discussing village matters. The eldest elder, Mzikibo, saw the children approaching and beckoned them to come closer. "Hello, children," he said in a deep, kind voice. "What brings you here today?" Kamau stepped forward bravely. "Mzikibo, I am always hungry, and I want to help my grandmother so we can have more food. Do you have any advice for me?" Mzikibo stroked his long white beard thoughtfully. "That is a noble wish, Kamau. Let me see if we can come up with a plan to help you and your grandmother." The other elders nodded in agreement and began to discuss among themselves. After a few moments, Mzikibo turned back to the children. "There are many ways you can help," Mzikibo said. "One way is to learn how to grow your own food. We can teach you how to plant and take care of a small garden. With time, you will have enough vegetables and fruits to eat." Kamal's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That sounds wonderful. I would love to learn how to grow food." Juma and Amina nodded enthusiastically. "We will help Kamal with the garden," Amina said. "We can all learn together." Mzikibo smiled. "Very well, then. Come to the community garden tomorrow morning, and we will show you how to get started." The children thanked the elders and hurried back to Kamal's house to tell his grandmother the good news. Wanjiku was delighted to hear about the plan. "That is a wonderful idea, Kamal. I'm so proud of you for wanting to help." The next morning, Kamal, Amina, and Juma went to the community garden. The elders were already there, ready to teach them. Mzikibo handed Kamal a small hoe and showed him how to dig the soil. Another elder, Mama Zai, taught Amina and Juma how to plant seeds and water the plants. The children worked hard all morning, digging, planting, and watering. By the end of the day, they had a small garden of their own, with rows of maize, beans, and tomatoes. They were tired but happy. "Remember to take care of your garden every day," Mzikibo reminded them. "With patience and hard work, you will soon have plenty of food." Days turned into weeks, and the children took turns tending to the garden. They watered the plants, pulled out weeds, and watched as the seeds began to sprout. Kamal's hunger became less and less as the garden grew. One afternoon, as they were working in the garden, Kamal noticed something shiny in the soil. He knelt down and carefully dug it out. It was a small, old coin, covered in dirt. He showed it to Amina and Juma, who were just as curious as he was. "Let's take it to Mzikibo," Juma suggested. "He might know what it is." The children ran to the acacia tree where the elders were sitting. Mzikibo examined the coin and his eyes widened in surprise. "This is a very old coin, from the time of our ancestors," he said. "It is valuable. You have found a treasure, Kamal." Kamal couldn't believe his ears. "What should I do with it, Mzikibo?" Mzikibo smiled. "You can keep it safe, Kamal, or you can sell it to a collector and use the money to help your grandmother even more." Kamal thought for a moment. He decided that selling the coin would be the best way to help his grandmother. With the elders' help, they found a collector in the nearby town who was very interested in the coin. The collector gave Kamal a fair price, and Kamal returned home with a small bag of money. He gave the money to his grandmother, who hugged him tightly. "This will help us so much, Kamal. You are a smart and brave boy." Kamal felt proud and happy. Not only had he helped his grandmother, but he had also learned the value of hard work and determination. The garden continued to grow, providing them with fresh food every day. Kamal, Amina, and Juma had become excellent gardeners, and they shared their harvest with the whole village. But one day, something unexpected happened. As Kamal, Amina, and Juma were tending to their flourishing garden, dark clouds began to gather in the sky. The wind started to howl, and the children knew a storm was coming. They quickly covered the young plants with protective leaves and hurried home before the rain began to pour. The storm was fierce. Thunder roared, and lightning lit up the sky. Rain fell in heavy sheets, flooding the village pathways. Kamal watched from his window, worried about their garden and the village. The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Kamal, Amina, and Juma rushed to their garden, hoping it had survived. When they arrived, their hearts sank. The storm had washed away many of the plants, and the garden was a mess. Kamal felt tears welling up in his eyes. All their hard work seemed lost. But then he remembered what Mzikibo had taught him about resilience and perseverance. He took a deep breath and turned to his friends. "We can rebuild," Kamal said firmly. "We've done it once, and we can do it again." Amina and Juma nodded in agreement. Together, they began to clear the debris and replant the seeds that had been saved. The villagers, seeing their determination, came to help. Everyone worked together to restore the garden, and soon, it was growing again. As the weeks passed, the garden flourished once more, stronger than before. Kamal's hunger was no longer a problem, and the village was filled with fresh vegetables and fruits. The storm had tested their resolve, but it had also brought the community closer together. One evening, as Kamal sat with his grandmother by the fire, she looked at him with pride. "You have grown into a strong and wise boy, Kamal. I am so proud of you." Kamal smiled, feeling a warmth in his heart. He knew that no matter what challenges came their way, they could overcome them with hard work, perseverance, and the support of their friends and family. And so, Kamal, Amina, and Juma continued to tend to their garden, always ready to face any storms that might come their way, knowing that together, they could weather any challenge.